The more things change, the more they stay the same. Crazy. That one line has crossed into my mind on several occasions of recent. I brushed the line off to the side, deemed it a foolish thought. Nothing more, or so I had thought. I was at a semi-formal dance of someone special to me. A slow dance came on, and the thought entered my mind again. I brushed the thought off again. But sometimes your lessons persist until you actually get them. The dance wasn't like any before. That dance, many of the moments that we had spent together until this time flashed through my head. Again, the thought. The more things change, the more they stay the same. At that moment, I was ready to accept that thought. Of course, there was just the nagging question of why. That came several days later, sitting down doing random daily things. One induces change for what they are or wish to become. Thus, in a twist of irony, one induces change in the hope of remaining the same. Take, for example, our dear America. It couldn't have changed much more over several hundred years. Things are so different from the start, yet if anything, throughout this change it is more so itself than ever. People care about different matters, but the same ideals. The first time that I had these kind of thoughts was actually a few months ago. I was at a friend's house that I hadn't been to for several years. I woke up at about midnight thirsty. I quickly went downstairs to come across a shiny glass window. It showed my reflection, transparent through a peaceful snowy night. My reflection isn't new. I should have just continued on with my business. Yet I was transfixed. You see, it was the same window that years prior I had looked into, going to do the same exact thing. I was close to shedding a tear. You see, it was myself that I saw in the mirror. The one thing is, it wasn't my current self. It was me all that time ago, an appearance that I had long since forgotten. Yes, I did see the physical difference the youthfulness play upon my reflection. In this reflection, I also saw my heart. I was expecting something completely different. After all, I was shades different than I am now. Its beat was the same. What I am now is what that little boy wanted. The young me was on the verge of a changing point, one that I claim to recently be completed. The majority of the change has happened. I was nothing the little boy knew, yet everything he wanted. I continue standing, wondering what now. Will the same thing happen years from now? I may not know the answer, but I do know one thing here. Even though I became so much more, I am everything that young boy was, an innocent kid that fretted not the matters of this world, but the matter of giving joy to those who I could. I am as much that kid as ever. I doubt that even if I change again, I wouldn't be. People are special to me, some people beyond. I have been amazed at some people's change, and it amazes me that all this applies for so much more. Today we went to a historical society. We were researching for a Then and Now project. An elementary teacher had created this and asked several high school teachers to help. I held in my hand a diary of another that I do not know. The diary was from 1919. Things were different, but they really weren't that different. Yes, it presented its own troubles, as ours present our own, but as different as this life was, living was really the same. Advice to be taken from this? Move on to greener pastures. Just remember the pastures you come from. As different as they may be, as better as they may be, they still got your name written all over them.